Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love once again. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am just filled. I'm abundant. My prayer today was gratitude, sincerely, once again. Thank you, Father. Thank you, God. Thank you, love and Jesus, for allowing me to learn. God, thank you for this life I've been given. Thank you for the blessings you've bestowed upon me. Thank you for all I have been through and overcome. And thank you for today, God. I feel so blessed. I feel so abundant with the true blessings of life, wisdom, and love. I pray, please, God, allow me to share what you've allowed me to gain. So, brothers and sisters, sincerely, to all of you who are here with me in the present time, whether it's now or later, live, or checking it out again, thank you and welcome to all of you for joining. Today, I was reminded by a friend recently, an external confirmation, it gets you to thinking about things you already know a little bit. Today, brothers and sisters, it starts the rest of our lives. What an adventure it has been already. Let me tell you. Hey, let me get through this so, we'll try to stay somewhat on topic and not just talk about me. But, here's what I know in my heart of hearts, in my knowing of knowing, God is the truth. God's love is found right there beyond our opinions. So I've been paying attention to me and trying to figure out, what is my practice? What am I growing? What is happening with me? What can I share that might be helpful? God's truth is so simple and obvious. And since posting this, I had a couple other realizations. But what I realized I was doing was just watching myself do things, and I was just glad to be and to be doing. And my mind is off wondering about God and love and what do those things mean and how do you describe those things? Where do those come from? Ideas, where do those come from, man? So what I realized I was doing, I'm walking with a spirit of gladness. How do I know the spirit of gladness? I pay attention, right? How am I feeling? And it's become such a habit. It's just normal for me now. It's finding the love, the beauty, the goodness of each new moment. It's like, holy cows. These moments are so special. They're so precious, and yet they just keep going on. They keep changing. So the goal that we all have is to know peace in our hearts, right? So walk through your day with a deep appreciation for life, to know that the spirit of gladness is with you. God's rules are pretty simple. The rules of life, they're really pretty simple. They're the same rules of love. Love is the rule. Love is the law. Stay honest to be at peace. Stay honest to be at peace, especially within yourself. Stay honest to be at peace with the truth. That's the goal. Stay honest to be at peace with the truth. and share your blessings gratefully, joyfully, with love. Because we are here for love. Our God is love, right? The thumbnail is God is the truth. Our God is love. And I was considering this earlier. It is love that moves us all. We can only know love through the gift of time, the gift of experience, and through love we gain this wisdom. Without love, you stay ignorant and confused, angry and afraid. No time to learn. I got problems to worry about. um, hey, I'm feeling the love that moves us. How do you know love? How do you know God? Tell you what, God and love is within you. Obviously, that's where it comes from, as does the truth. And God and love are all around you. Love is so amazing from the creative intelligence that allows the universe, light, energies, all of this stuff to come into being. We are expressions of love with the awareness and consciousness of through a period of time and of time. We've got a consciousness and awareness of time for the purpose of growing in wisdom and experience of love. And love takes many different forms. It's powerful, it's mysterious, but it's undeniable in the beauty of nature. That's love in form right there. That's what captures us. It's love. Whoops. It's the love within us identifying the love outside of us. And there's so much to love about this life. There's so much to love about the world. So love, the mysterious, powerful love that formed into nature, which then formed into us. This mysterious, powerful love is eternally present. And so the thought in my head is I am aligned, I am united with the eternal love that is present in this moment. I am the love that's in the stillness of the presence. So I walk with that, and it's from meditation to walking, and it's getting more and more joyful. It really is. Walking with love, with faith, with the knowing in your heart that God is with you. Peace is about to be upon this world very soon, as soon as we unite and we join together, like God's children would. It's really kind of that simple. But what I realized is the love from God is so magnificent, so mysterious, so powerful that it even allows the love of destruction to be here at the same time as its children, like us. Earlier today, I mentioned this. For those who have been along for the Talcottian adventure, thank you sincerely. Let me see if this is it. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to drop a few give some memberships while I can, while I do still do this stuff. Hey, Queen of Swords, Chuck in Tennessee, Swinton's Birds, Just a Me, Grills Trillions. Blessings and thank you. Don't expect much from the membership perk, but the reality is I'm trying to grow a community, and we are a community. I know it's amazing, Artful. It's amazing. I missed you. And Chuck in Tennessee, blessings to you. It's awesome. It gifts randomly. So where was I? the love that is beyond us. I mean, as Jesus spoke, he commanded love for those who follow him. How many Christians today are just afraid because of the bosses or the budgets or opinions? You know, I think the world got confused along the way, but praise God, it makes perfect sense why we would and why it did. Because through every pain and sorrow, there are lessons to be learned. And brothers and sisters, earlier today, I was blessed to be a brief speaker at an urgent rally put up here in Spokane. The idea is this insanity in Gaza that's being funded by the American taxpayers, not just the atrocity in Gaza, but what's happening to the people in Ukraine and Russia and so many places around the world. Brothers and sisters, there is a true humanitarian crisis that's emerging. And what we can all come to grips with and realize, while our God may have the capacity to love and allow the grace to allow those who love destruction and oppression here on earth, we don't have to accept it. I truly trust and believe that God has created this kingdom for us to claim together, not to be oppressed by one another, ruled and governed and registered and licensed by some illusion of authority. Brothers and sisters, the time is now. The time is now for us to come together and accept the truth. There is no excuse for these wars and lies and corruption to continue. There is no excuse. Nothing prevents us from trying to stop it. And I trust, since we are moving on the side of justice, helping to avoid the unnecessary continuing destruction and pollution of the home we call our planet. Brothers and sisters, I don't know when the day will be, but the day is coming soon. So let's start walking as though peace on earth is happening. We don't know how exactly yet. We don't know when exactly yet. But brothers and sisters, join me through faith, commitment, dedication, action. Nothing prevents success when you have faith, commitment, dedication, and actions. Nothing prevents success. What helps success be realized is the ideas. See, and what actually, I had this thought earlier too, beyond the fact that God is the love that's within us, God is the love that's around us. God is actually everything, and yet it's beyond that. So if you can just simplify yourself, stay honest, stay in love. Love your life, love everyone you meet, because they're children of God, just like you. So we don't have to continue allowing. I'm confident of this. And I don't believe I trust that I speak for most of us, many of us. We've had enough of this nonsense. Behind all these wars, behind the censorship, behind the regulation, the imprisonment, all of this stuff that's happening, the sickness in this world, lies can only be enabled, right? Behind all of the sickness is the corrupted money system, which tempts people into doing some disgusting things. We live in a world of illusions and deceptions. People are pretending like everything's okay while wars are being paid for. There's children, men, women crying out for help, praying that God, someone, somewhere will help ease their suffering and their pains, help give them hope. Why not you? Why not me? Why not us? Starting today, I'm real easily reached, and I am inviting the world to join me. Let's get everyone's attention and realize love is the answer. Forgiveness brings the light of freedom. And we've got a world that literally profits from debts. Hello, Christians, playing a part of this capitalist system. What was Jesus teaching? Oh, forgiveness, mercy. Hello, McFly. Anyone home? I mean, there's a few faces that popped up in my memories there that I started speaking to. Sorry about that. God, yeah, I get so judgmental sometimes. But hey, brothers and sisters, sincerely, the time for wars to end is now. I believe as soon as God allows the willingness, the ideas are here. My goals, oh, yeah, earlier today, I got to speak at that rally briefly. And I shared some of the love thing, but I think I confused people. And as soon as we start, well, we just missed a heavier storm, but it was cold and windy. And I recorded it, but the audio didn't come through for me very well. It may have been on the news. I don't know. There was a couple of cameras there, but I don't know the results and I don't control the results. But I gathered there with people in the community, and what I tried to offer is faith. See, if we can find faith that wars can end, that's the start. See, once the fighting and destruction end, healing can begin. Let's focus on healing, bringing healing instead of revenge and punishment. Let's focus on bringing correction and healing and education, not only to ourselves, but each other. Every one of us, brothers and sisters, as Jesus was, you and I are. He was the example to know, to become like in your own unique way through faith with the Father. The one who sent him is the same one who sent us to earth at this time. We are here to shine the light in the darkness, to overcome, to bring the truth into light, and to bring peace to this world wherever we go. We're here to serve the needy, give attention to those crying out, bring the suffering that we can. I mean, it's God's grace, God's will that will be done. That's the only thing that will be done is God's will. I know God's will is love. I trust that God's will is love, because that is what every messenger that the religions formed around was about, love. There's a time for every idea. There's a time for everything. We are this time. We are the ideas that we bring We are the things that we and God and the world have created together. There's no separation from us. There's no separation from anyone. Shillin' for Veterans for Peace. Still. Have the wars ended yet? Or you want to complain about those doing things? This is fascinating. This. El Perro, I love your wisdom. I want to encourage you, though. Allow your heart to receive those words that you know. Your heart, man. Here's what I wanted to hear. What he offered: the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of wisdom, the Spirit of understanding, the Spirit of counsel, the Spirit of power, the Spirit of knowledge, Spirit of fear of the Lord. My only fear of the Lord is that I stray away again. And I don't fear that because I know it's not in my options. I will not stray from God's way again. Should I find my way into the spirit of anger, I correct myself very quickly. I bring myself back to know love. Because love is what life is about. But love doesn't come from anywhere but God. That's the truth. And the way to know love through a human form, get to know those words from Jesus sincerely. Consider his example, how he served. He washed the feet. He said the words too, right? He explained himself. And my prayer today before I went is, for those who know my story, you know my story. It's been a while. I went, and after speaking at the event, I invited. And after the end of the event, I invited. For those who can have faith that wars can end, please connect with me. I'd like your phone number and name, and let's talk. Out of the group gathered, there's only a couple. I don't know where this is going to go, but brothers and sisters, join me in faith wherever you are that wars can end. Wars can end when the truth comes out. There's no excuse for wars. When the truth comes out, there's no excuse for this disparity in economics. There's no reason for this nonsense. Everyone participates. Ooh, here's something I didn't go into. Let's go into it. By the way, I did drop the link. I pinned it to the top of the chat for those who may wish to join. It is open-ish. Behind the wars, oppression, the confusion, the lies, the immorality that's in the media and music, it's all enabled. Every one of us have been enabling the imprisonment of citizens in our nation through the policing, the judgmental, the criminal court system it's a sham. The whole system is designed to protect the investments of the property owners. This is rulership by voluntary choice. Satan's got to be behind this nonsense. Well, that makes sense to me, though, too. God allows it to be. God's love and power and control is so infinite. I believe that even Satan is probably controlled through ideas. That would make sense to me. Because only the all-knowing knows all. Every one of us have levels of ignorance. We don't know what we don't know. But what all of us can easily know is love, especially when it's shared. And love can really only be shared or experienced in the moments we share with each other. So please, I hope you can feel my love because I am aligned with the eternal love. The love I imagine that Jesus felt for God, for life, for you. And really, the whole 10 commandment things, the love your neighbor, it's be honest, be humble, be kind, be generous, be like you would like to meet, right? We mirror each other. Monkey see, monkey do. That's the evolution of life for the man who we become. Praise God. God created a lot of amazing, inspiring people today. Incredible teachers and messengers, better than me. So, brothers and sisters, if you don't like the way I speak, at least grasp the idea and help me get someone better than me to do what I want to do. Let's bring the citizens who hold the positions in Congress and the administration of the United States government. Let's get their attention. I mean, everyone's got connections, and there's got to be listeners, viewers who know people. Someone's got to come into your mind with the idea of being a part of ending wars, trying to bring a voice of reason into the administration for the purpose of ending wars and bringing truly righteous reform, with the purpose of bringing help to the needy, helping to bring healing to our world, helping to clean up our world. There's so many reasons for you, whoever you are, to want to connect me, to share support in your way, whatever you want. If you disagree with the ideas, I think you don't understand. We're talking about what I'm focused on is a better future for our entire world. And I trust this is God's plans for us. Now, when it happens, I don't know, but I know that I want to play a part in it. And I believe that this is what God's been doing with me, helping me prepare and refine, so that when I do finally address the world, media, government, whatever it might be, beyond where I'm starting. I mean, this is just a starting point for me. Praise God. But I believe that when the opportunities are found for me, introductions. Lots of you people know lots of other people, especially in this YouTube realm. I would love an opportunity to share me with different audiences to help this grow. The idea of ending wars in this lifetime, interrupting the nonsense of the political games that are wasting money. Although people are getting paid to do jobs, I guess. That's what America's all about. You got to have the jobs, got to get the jobs, got to protect the jobs, says the slaves. We've got a nation that protects the job creators, not the value providers. This game, man, this life we are living, this is crazy. But here's what I do know, brothers and sisters. The game we are playing, it's an eternal game. We're eternally spirit beings of energy and light, and we're in this density of human form where we're trapped in this timeline of right now, which keeps going now, like it just keeps going, right? And we're just on this one timeline together. But what's happening in the Middle East or Iran, everywhere? What's happening everywhere in the world? I was trying to think of Gaza, Ukraine, Sudan. There's so many people crying out for mercy, for help. Money's not the answer, brothers and sisters. When are we going to get over this nonsense? I still have people reaching out to me for money. I'm like, you want to talk about God? No, do you have money for me? I need money for this. I need money for. You want to talk about God? No, just money. I'm sorry. I'm letting out what didn't need to come out. My memories. Praise God. God is the present, which is revealing the future. None of us know what the future is truly going to bring. None of us knew what this life was going to bring. I sure never imagined myself, when I was out in the wilderness, hating life because there was no friends to play with and nothing to do. I remember that time, and there was not in my wildest dreams, man, not in any point in my life did I ever see Jack talking to a screen on YouTube about God. What the hell? See, this is what I realized, brothers and sisters. There's a divine plan that's far greater than us, that's filled with joy and love and surprises. This God of ours. My prayer, I'll share my prayer. Hopefully it might help you to see. Now, God decides all things. I don't assume. I don't know. So my prayer is that as Jesus was united with the Father, I pray to be united with He, so that together His prayers would be answered, my prayers would be answered. And through me, the Father's will may be done. The Father's will is love. Love is fun. Life is pretty fun, man, when you let go of the past and you just focus on the future. All right, we're here now today. Okay? There's good and bad in all things. Let's just move beyond the good and bad and let's experience the peace and love, man, and get things done. A lot of times we come to these points in life where it's like, all right, there's a mess. This is enough. Whoosh, time out. Time out. Let's stop the destruction. Pause for a minute. Step back. Get a game plan and move in. I suggest we do that with citizens in the House of Congress. They seem to be divided. They seem to be divided not only amongst themselves, but the citizens of Congress believe themselves to be divided from us somehow, it seems. I'd like to talk to a few of them, though. Maybe you know someone who might want to help a voice of reason like me speak with the people in the American government or somewhere else. I'll talk to anyone at any time about bringing peace on earth. Walking with love. Those are my favorite topics. Oh, I got a lot of favorites. I'm a man who loves. And I love learning. And brothers and sisters, I hope you can learn today some ideas of love for yourself, some ideas of God for yourself, some ideas of hope for yourself. If we can't believe wars will end, we'll find excuses to do nothing. But if you find the hope that wars can end, debts can be forgiven, that healing and renewal, restoration can be brought forward into our world. I know it's a lot of people and the world's a big place and it's a big project, but I think if we get enough people involved, get the right ones especially, I trust God. I trust God's got it all coming together. So let's play a part. Let's play a part in bringing peace to this world. I don't know your path to know God, but I trust you to accept it. Accept God as the truth. Figure out what is true, and you'll have a clear mind. And with a clear mind, you can have an open heart of understanding and compassion, and you can walk with the spirit of gladness. Glad just to be doing whatever you're doing. I would love, well, I don't know what Eartho's doing. What is going on? Maybe today is what? Saturday. It is a day of blessings. I saw somewhere, and I don't recall, but it seems. Thank you, Venus Cupcake. I don't get what the intentions of some people are. I really don't. Greetings to all of you, please, and thank you. I do love, and it feels so good to love. And here's what I realized in the thumbnail, too. God is the truth you know and the truth you don't know. So humble yourself to both. Appreciate both. Appreciate the truth you know and the truth that you don't know so that you can appreciate the truth that others offer to you. With an open mind, you can allow all truths to be true, and then you navigate your way through to pick the correct ones for you. But the truth can only be denied. This was something I was going to say earlier, or I mentioned earlier. See, lies must be enabled. They can only last as long as people believe in them. Truth stands on its own. Truth is righteous. The truth is God. Truth is sovereign. So if you align yourself with the truth, you walk with love and an open mind, an open heart, moving beyond the patterns of opinions, right? This world taught us to be real reactive and fearful because, well, trauma profits in an evil world. And we live in a world where it profits from wars and destruction and oppression and censorship and immorality and human trafficking and all sorts of sick stuff. Praise God. Peace is about to be. The time is now, brothers and sisters. This corruption has got to end. It's time for people individually, all of us, to accept accountability. We can no longer enable this. We can no longer ignore what is happening in the greater world. We can no longer ignore what's happening to our neighbors in the streets. We no longer have the luxury. Why would we? We're stronger united together, and every house is divided by budgets. We've grown into a world that allows money, a tool invented by the mind of man, the imagination. We all pretend that money has value. Oh, it's fair. It's convenience. Yeah. Brothers and sisters, God is the truth. Join me today. Today starts the rest of our lives, your life. Allow it to be true. And ask your heart of hearts, to guide you from now on. Stay present and aware and attentive. Pay attention to what you're doing and what the moments of life bring you, where you take yourself. Pay attention to what you're doing and what is really shown to you. And then have the mind of a child, innocent, pure, clear, like a child of God would. Become that which you are naturally. Stop pretending that you know it all. That's what's wrong with our world. It's this prideful arrogance where everyone imagines answers and makes all these assumptions, jumps to conclusions. And then they want to fight each other about what they think. That's why wars are happening right now. That's why innocent people are crying out right now. Because people think that it can't be stopped. I don't accept that. I know that with God, through God, all things are possible. I know God is the truth. I accept nothing less than the truth, and I encourage you to do the same for yourself. Accept nothing but the truth from yourself and others. Stop enabling each other's lies. The lies of the government are bad enough, and then we got lies between friends. We got lies between employees and bosses. We got lies everywhere, man. Don't play in the human games. Play in God's game. God's game, the rules are simple. Life isn't easy in God's game, don't get me wrong, but God's rules are simple. Love. Love will lead you to the future that you love. If you follow and do the things that you love doing, then you love living. I love living. Oh, I love being me. It feels so good, and I want you to feel like me. Do different things, and others are. You are. You're already doing a different life than me, but I want you to feel as good as I feel. I want you to know in your heart that the time for peace and reform is right now. I know for a fact I am not alone. There are many like me saying these things, investing their time, energy, resources, taking risks with their lives. Actually, many people who are stepping up and coming forward, they're risking their lives because of the nonsense of this world. When we move beyond our opinions of what is right, what is wrong, we can know love. Love will bring the healing, so there is less wrong and more right. We have the opportunity starting right now, starting today. We have the opportunity to know love in a greater way for yourself with a conscious intention. And I don't know everyone's right steps. I'm not Jesus, man. I'm just a dude who's figuring stuff out for himself. But bring God into the equation. just seems like a logical conclusion to me. Keep God in your mind. The love that Jesus showed in your heart, invite him. Like I have. Invite him. And this is a question I was asking earlier. God is so good. The Spirit reminds, and sometimes I remember on time. Earlier today, I was saying the question, well, if Jesus was me, what would he do from here? I'm here. I trust he is with us. He is with me. I accept accountability and responsibility for my words, for all the words that I say. I am accountable and responsible, whether I'm accurate, right, or wrong. I accept all consequences for my words. But when we humble ourselves and just allow the truth to arise, that truth that arises is God's message. When we're honest, it is the truth, and all truth comes from God. It's when our minds give us this excuse that we can twist the truth, we can misinterpret it, we can deny God's power, God's glory, God's control. We can deny any of the good things in life. God allows. Our God, our Creator, I don't know the right name. I call it God, the source of love. The source of love that is so generous and so intelligent, it also allows us wisdom. And I was considering this. God is within me, God is all around me. And yet I have this freedom of, I can observe different thoughts and I can choose different thoughts. I can observe different feelings and impulses, and I can choose different feelings and impulses. So I've been paying attention to all of this, but wondering, do we have any control, or is this entirely God? Since you have to allow all possibilities, because our minds aren't God's mind, fully God's mind, but it has to be a combination of the two, because there is no separation from the one. So it's like our choices. Here's where I've come to, right? And those who know the Bible better than me, you know maybe where I'm referring to, but it's said that God hardens and softens the heart. Well, the heart is the energy that tunes in. There's no separation between the heart and the mind, because the heart that keeps us alive, keeps the brain functioning. The frequencies between the heart and the mind will tune in to different ideas that are available, because all ideas are infinite, right? They're there. Just as the truth is eternally present, it's always there. It's just a matter of aligning the individual mind of consciousness and awareness into the idea and the frequency of those ideas. Brothers and sisters, I said this in kind of a complicated way, but it's what I'm offering is that I believe God moves us by the hardening and softening of our hearts. Through that open and closed heart idea, it'll direct your thoughts into the darkness or into the light. Now, what I was considering earlier is in our design, our true design, there's such an incredible intelligence that's within us, and we are a body of intelligence that's far more than what we're aware of. As with God, all things are whole. The mind and heart, the thoughts and emotions, they are united naturally. But by conditioning, by trauma, by fear, the mind and heart can be separated. And that's really what trauma is. That's really what confusion is. Bitterness, anger, all of this uncomfortable stuff. It's a separation between the mind and the heart. It's God that heals, brings forth all things. It's God that, well, I think we're controlled by the ideas. And if you take that through a little further, which I have, I consider all of us simply ideas. We are all ideas of life and characters within the mind and creation of God. Ideas come and go. People come and go. And it looks like we've got a return of an interesting guest. And welcome back, Stephen.
Hello. Hello, Jack. Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm truly blessed.
You look blessed. You look you look like you had a rest and rolled out of bed. I'm not sure.
I was out
You,
in the rain. I was
you
out in
look
the
a little bit
rain.
disheveled. I'm concerned about you. Are you doing all right, Jack? We're brothers now. Brother.
We are. It's
Brother.
wonderful. You know what? It is wonderful to finally meet you again.
It's a new day. Today's a new day.
And you know what today is?
Saturn's Day?
Today is the start of the rest of our lives.
Oh, okay.
Today starts the future.
That's true.
It is.
That is
And
true.
every day we get to restart, renew, or play the same old games. I love renewals, restarting. Gives me hope again.
There
So I
was a
do it
soap
all.
opera. Did you or your wife or your mother, any females in your family watch any soap operas? There was
Yeah.
one with As the World Turns, and there was a world turning, I remember, and there was one about these are the days of the rest of our life or something like that. I remember some opening quote, and
Days of our
oh
lives.
man, yeah, these are the days of our lives. So sometimes there are profound things on television and soap operas and TV shows, movies. Sometimes that something stays with you.
You know what? There's entertainment and joy and creativity to be found in so many places. I watched people know my words, and I've been accused of being the Antichrist because I want to bring peace to the world. And this morning I watched, I can't remember the channel's name. He does these short little historical animations, and they're hilarious. Rackman or something. Anyway, he had a short video today about the past messiahs who failed, past failed messiahs.
What?
Well, there's been many people who've in history who have been sparked with the idea that they were the return and the savior of the world. There's been apparently quite a few of those. And actually, hell, in my experience, I haven't heard from him in a while, but we had Mexican Jesus here. And then we had Aaron with his, he perfected himself in the eyes of the Rothschilds and declared himself as the world's savior, if I understood correctly.
Okay. Okay. I've never met Mexican Jesus, but I do love tacos and burritos. Does he ever bring those around? Does he ever feed people with Mexican food? I love Mexican food. Thank you, Switton's birds. Like sands, this is what I was trying to think of. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. Thank you. Yes, that is the opening for that old show. I haven't heard it in so long. I just want to clarify to the people watching the chat room. I'm not really saying that Jack is the Antichrist. Jack called me the Antichrist yesterday, so I'm referring to myself that way. It's tongue in cheek. I'm not being mean or spiteful or malicious here. I'm poking fun at myself in the chat. I don't want them to be confused or upset. I want everyone
Thank.
to have a great, beautiful day today.
That's it. Thank you. And
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that. You do have a humor to you, and I truly trust your intentions are good. You're a good man. I
I
believe
am
that.
pure at heart. I'm just a bit insane. I'm a bit crazy. I think that God sometimes works in mysterious ways and puts maybe some lunatics on Earth once in a while to to keep things interesting. And I am,
You're playing that part well, brother.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to play that part, to play that role. Uh, I've been doing my best since I was born. There's always been something about me that's different. We might say, just different.
You know what? It might be why our paths have crossed. I've been different too. And I think most of the viewers, most of the people, especially in these dysfunctional communities, I that's what I see as patterns of kind of outcasts that don't quite
I
fit in.
well, I teased a few teachers to tears when I was a kid in school. A few substitute teachers, and I don't know. I was just a bit of a rebellious troublemaker, I guess. But I tried to have a sense of humor. If I saw a teacher teasing a kid, I would start teasing the teacher. So I've been a fan of the underdog. I'm a defender of the downtrodden, the underdogs.
You actually, I mean, you and Paul share that kind of
Paul
looking
who?
out. Paul enslaved.
Oh, I'd never been on his channel. Is he a ginger?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
Does he have red hair? I'm not sure. Does anyone in the chat know if he's a redhead? I have some kind of inbuilt aversion to redheads. I don't know if God put that into me, but I watched something on South Park where it said that gingers don't have souls, and it stuck with me all these years. And I don't know if they do or not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm that's up in the air.
My sister is a redhead.
Oh, is she alien?
I don't know. I've also had an aversion to redheads my whole life too.
Oh
But
wow.
I do love my sister. I just she's another part of my story. Hey, that was sorry, distraction. Um I lost where we went.
Do gingers have souls? Does
Oh,
anyone in the chat room know if they are the same as us spiritually?
I'm
I
sure they
wonder.
I'm sure.
I've
Spiritually, yes, at the deepest level there is only the one. We come from the one essence of energy and source of light. It's all from our perspective, all of this is real. From God's perspective, it's just a light show. We're just like particles coming together and falling apart over and over and over. It's brilliant.
just a
So yeah,
light show, like lasers.
no, like a movie,
Oh, a
like it's
movie.
a 3D movie that's so that we are a part of, but like beyond space and time, there's the angelic realm and the heavenly realm. They can see and know all parts of it from a different perspective. Just as like maybe there may be other dimensional beings, the angels and such. I don't know. The demons.
I hope God isn't Harvey Weinstein.
God was
He was,
within. God is within Harvey Weinstein and
but he
all others.
touched all those women and he did all that, all that. He used the casting couch of Hollywood to make those
Let
movies. You know,
experiences were shared, lessons were learned, and in the future, here's the thing that I see. We're at a time in history, and we've got to seriously accept our part in this time in history, because the future is going to look back and wonder. I think it's time for us to start acting like we care about the future sincerely. And I took us off point of where you were. I'm sorry, Stephen. I forgot where you were.
Harvey Weinstein movies.
Oh,
God, yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. The lessons. The lessons. There's good and bad in all things in this realm that we share in this life experience. Everything has good and bad. And sometimes it's real hard to see the good. But such as the abuse from Weinstein and Epstein and all this other sickness that's been uncovered, not to mention the atrocities and the genocide that the American taxpayers are funding in Gaza and in
You're
Ukraine.
funding that?
America's paying for a lot of this crap.
I'm not an American. I didn't know that Americans were paying for
Oh,
that. Wow.
yeah. Well,
What?
it's all just this big economic not it's a monopoly game that people convinced everyone else to play a part in. And it's been true since the beginning. You can hire half the working class to kill the other half of the working class. And that's exactly what the system is designed to do. The systems of state and religion and
Mm,
economics, it's all about division.
mm.
God is about multiplication.
Oh, oh. Would you say that Israel, like, are you saying that Israel is, or Americans are funding Israel to destroy Gaza? Like the American payers are paying for that destruction?
Well, yes,
They're taking your tax money to pay for that? Oh,
yes. I don't think
oh.
most people realize their connection to the part of the military destruction that's been happening. Every
Would you,
taxpayer is participating in enabling this.
oh,
And
would you,
here's what go ahead.
would you say that that Israel's godless then if they're destroying these people in Gaza, the Palestinians with bombs or burning like all these different weapons, it's a genocide basically. Is that what you're saying? It's a
Yes. And
genocide.
here's where I want to offer the good out of that may be found. What is happening right now is evidence that this should never, ever, 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 ever happen again. And what we can do is accept that the humanitarian disaster of today is a direct result of good men and women not speaking up, not doing enough in the past. And if we have a sense of urgency within us and the belief that those people see the bad there, for those of us who are tuning in, please tune your mind in to your memories, your thoughts of the people in Gaza or Ukraine, war zones, famine zones. Feel within your heart they are like you and they're afraid. They're crying out in pain, suffering. So now bring your mind back to where you are. Compare your problems to theirs. Find a spirit of gladness that God is allowing you to be who you are, where you are right now, at this same time that those other people are suffering. So let's see this as an opportunity This is an opportunity for you and me to stand up, to unite together, to create the movement and the opportunities to end these wars so that those men and women might have some sort of hope again. To know that there are people in this world who love them, who care about them, who are willing to protect them, not pay for the destruction of their homes and their children. Brothers and sisters, what I'm doing here on YouTube each day, I actually take it pretty seriously. I know the evils of war. And it's not firsthand, but it's because I've got a heart that cares and a mind that trusts. You can have the same thing. And through the grace of God, we will find a way to join together. We can overcome so many things in one fatal swoop, starting with, and it's not the ending point, it's the starting point. From where I sit, we start with citizens in the United States government. They have by God's grace, they are placed into the positions of responsibility and duty to bring forth the laws, the rewriting of the rules that will reform. And it's going to be simple. We got some brilliant people alive today. There's a lot of people and groups who have been studying and putting together solutions to be shared. But in this corrupted world of media and profits, good ideas have been cast away. Brothers and sisters, I know for a fact I am a good idea that God has imagined. So are you. Let's bring the good ideas to the world.
Amen.
The good ideas is wars.
I'm on board with that, with what you just said. I think these wars need to end. It's time to end these stupid fucking wars. It's shit. It's evil, and we don't need to be doing. We shouldn't be doing this. We don't need to be doing this. Instead of United States, we should be united brothers and sisters against these wars.
Exactly.
And, if they can have a united Negro College Fund, we can have a united brothers and sisters against the wars of this realm. Would you say that Israel is a godless state then, if they're doing this, or as what they've been? It's not just recently. I guess they've been attacking these people for decades, kind of keeping them in this small little area, penned in, fenced in, walled in. They're trapped. They're fish in a barrel.
God, I have my interpretations of what God's messages is throughout the whole biblical story and the evolution of some of the mindset that maybe, well, the fearful, they run back and forth between playing victim and perpetrator. And see, it's perhaps evidence of a lack of forgiveness from World War II that has, and guilt from the American people that was never addressed, never made whole. I mean, there's so many ways this could be viewed, but really it comes down to, just like a child that's beaten typically grows up to be abusive, we're seeing the same thing in generation after generation. And that's why I trust we are all of us alive. I'm 50 years old, whether you're 80 down to 12. We're here to bring healing.
Yeah.
That's what Jesus
I'm on board. I think we all need to heal. I think that you're right about everyone, not just people that are in these war zones. It's us as well. We're all damaged in some way in this lifetime. We go through traumas here. Nobody has a perfect life.
Not yet. Not yet. Although I feel like my life, while I complained and I cried a bunch, for the most part, my life lessons were pretty painless. And I was blessed in many ways, and I realized that. But hey, I truly trust the time is now, and there's so many. I'm just simply evidence of a man who pays attention and seeks to know. I've learned a lot through the wisdom of many different others. We're blessed to live today with people who know how to heal trauma. And I learned from a lot of different people and a lot of different modalities on how to heal myself. I've learned how others are healing others. And so, what I realized and why I want an audience with the United States government is the facts are clear. Behind the selfishness and greed that's driven by the money system, um, the entire money system profits from division and war, from trauma that creates trauma. We are literally subconsciously, inadvertently, or maliciously, whatever way it is, people are literally being driven insane out of fear and greed and unhealed trauma.
Sad.
It is
I'm not.
sad.
I'm not a greedy person. I'm not somebody that like. I really am not materialistic. I don't really care about all the material shit, cars, and all this kind of stuff.
Me either. What I
I'm
care,
more of a poet. I'm more into poetry and that sort of thing.
beautiful. Art. Yes, there's a creative source that's within us that must be let out. We've got to find ways to allow our creativity to go. And it took me a lifetime to discover where my talents were because I was afraid of trying new things. I was afraid of everything, man. But
Oh,
I've been allowed to face many fears I didn't even know I had, insecurities I didn't realize I knew were there. I've been allowed to grow. But find your talent. The talent, what your purpose is what your passion is. Everyone who's listening, you want to know your purpose. They're multifolded. I mean, right? You are godlike in quality. So
yes.
that means you've got many different purposes here. One of which is to bring forth creativity and beauty and whatever passion is within us, whatever, find what other people say, hey, you're really good at that. I really enjoy when you do this. Realize that's your talent. That's where your purpose. Lean into that. What others enjoy you doing, especially if you can learn how to do it better, how to enjoy it more. That's what your purpose is. The talents and everything we need. It's all written on our hearts.
Mm,
It's
mm,
all there.
mm-hmm.
Hey, Tarek.
What? Oh,
Well, there you go. Thank you for your contribution, Tarek. King Stephen. I believe Jack is a demon.
I think he's calling you a diamond. A diamond. Tim Bob, one of your monitors, said Stephen just yanks the poetry out of Jack. So that's a different perspective right above him saying that the poetry's coming out of you as we have these conversations. So they're looking at it in a positive, they're looking at a positive way.
I'm actually enjoying you, really, sincerely.
Me
Um,
too.
when you're not leaning into the role of antagonizer and the whatever it is, you really are fun.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you. Uh, do you mind if I read part of a poem? This one's not mine, but were you somebody that ever read the poetry of the great American poet Jim Morrison?
From the Doors.
Jim Morrison, yes, from the Doors. He's an American poet. He published
Okay.
poetry, actually. He didn't
I
just.
did not. I have not explored his stuff.
I have
Please.
all of his poetry books. He's a published poet in his time, and he was uh, fantastic. But here's one. It's not really controversial. I'm sure it would be okay for YouTube, as far as I know. Here's how it begins. Adolf Hitler is still alive. Ooh, shh. I fucked her last night. Yeah. Come out from behind that false mustache. Adolf, I know you're in there. Ha 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 ha. You favor life. He sides with death. I straddle the fence, and my balls hurt. That's by Jim Morrison. It's of the Doors. It's called Adolf Hitler. They actually performed it on stage. You can get clips of that performance on the internet if you Google it. Uh,
You know where my
Jim
mind.
was
Go ahead,
sorry.
please. No, please.
Jim was he was a very interesting. He was actually the same personality type that I am. He was kind of a guy that was kind of a trickster and a bit of. He was a poet, a rock star, but he had this strange personality. And I looked into it years ago. I didn't realize it because I started listening to the Doors when I was probably 15 years old or so. But I didn't know until later on in life, and I was like, damn, Jim, he's actually has the same personality type that I do. So yeah, there's something there. There's something rebellious. There's some rebellious fire in me, I guess you could say.
Stephen, I gotta caution you then. You really are playing the role, perhaps,
Not
because
now.
I don't know if this is accurate or not. So please, it's easily found if it is. But as I understand Morrison, his father was involved in the sinking of the Tonkin, which started the Vietnam War.
Yes, yes.
His and through government relation through family, he was connected to government relations. At the same time, the CIA was doing a lot of stuff, studying and experimenting on the minds, and why not use an upcoming youth and involve him in the manipulation of the masses?
Yes.
It seems likely that many of our young and very, very talented artists who've become celebrities, well, they've been used for malicious purposes.
Yes, they many have been for sure, for sure.
I was
Jim's
just
dad
seeing,
was a short man. He was the rear admiral, so he was in control of the whole area during the Gulf of Tonkin, and that did set off the Vietnam War. But it was a psyop. It
mm-hmm.
was a false flag set up. It was a setup. I'm just going to read this one. This one's entirely
So
different.
like father, like son, like father, like
Well,
son. Go ahead.
I don't know if I'd call Jim. I don't know if I blame him for a war, but he's not his dad, right? He's still his own man. But here's one here. I am troubled immeasurably by your eyes. I am struck by the feather of your soft reply. The sound of glass speaks quick disdain and conceals what your eyes fight to explain. That's from Wilderness, a book by Jim Morrison. It's I don't know, it's a comforting poem. There's a lot of, would you say that there's God even in people that are being used by evil? Would you say there's still God, even if Jim was used, let's say, through MK
Yep,
Ultra or CIA? I think there's God in Jim Morrison, right? There's something
absolutely.
something there, something
Here's
godly.
here's where I'm at. The simplest way I have found to live, and what I found the most enjoy and gladness with, God is everything. Yep. That Morrison, he was a story from God for the world to enjoy, discover, and be influenced by. That's what we all are. We're just stories. And I want to become, well, I've shared my dreams and my goals, but we are part of this story of time together. And I tell you what, everything is aligned. The evidence is clear, right? It's time for a change. The change is no more secrets and lies. We can end the wars, and we can figure out how to clean up and work together more honestly, more fairly, more righteously. And so to make that happen, all we've got to do, those of you who have received these ideas, is to share those with other people you know, and let's find a way to make it happen. Like before the November vote, we don't need to go through that song and dance and watch that stupid puppet show, entertainment, debate nonsense. Bunch of crap. We all know it's crap. Why don't we do something about the crap?
Yeah. If we're all stories, here's the story of a lovely lady who is bringing up three very lovely girls. All of them had hair of gold like their mother, the youngest one in curls. It's the story of a man named Brady who was busy with three boys of his own. They were four men living all together, yet they were all alone. The Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. Remember that? That was a story, and it was a very comforting show back in the day when I grew up. So if we're all stories, and television is a story, it gave us stories growing up in our youth, then we're living stories of God. We're these living. We would be each one of us might be a different story in the bigger story. So
We
my
are.
story would be different than I don't know, somebody in the chat room. My story would differ from Does It May or T. What's that person? T Rhines or Toilet Bowl is in there. Dominic. They have
Well,
different stories.
here, the dealing with that, there's an absolute truth that it's got to be accepted. We become the stories we tell ourselves. Whether we, especially, I can't, I can't. Well, guess what? You won't. But I tell you what, you believe you can. Find hope that you can. Then you can
Yes,
believe
we
that you can.
can. Yes, we can. We can.
We
We
can end the
can.
wars. We can end the
Yes, we
wars.
can. Yes, we can
Right.
change this world. We can
Right.
change. Pixel T, I did not sing my Shady Bunch song. I sang the Brady Bunch song. I didn't sing the Shady Bunch. I sang the Brady
Oh, it
Bunch.
was Brady Bunch. Yeah, I remember that show.
The Brady Bunch.
Tarek, again, hey, thank you for your contributions. Message for you again, King Stephen. According to Tarek, Jack is falling in love with you. Um, I'm in love all the time. People fall in and out of my experience all the time. I do love you, Stephen. Thank you for joining me in the present, here and now.
Thank you. I love everyone here, even my haters. I
Yep.
don't have any hatred for you. I really don't. I might make some jokes now and then, but please don't take it personally. Don't be offended. Even that, what's his name? London King James KJV. I see in the chat he doesn't want to show his face, or he said to me that he's not black. He said he's a white man, but I think he might be a Jamaican guy. I kind of get an accent from him, but it doesn't matter. But if he doesn't want to tell me, it's okay. But I don't hate anybody here, is what I'm saying. I don't have hatred in my heart for any beings walking this earth on two legs or four legs or three legs or one leg.
That's good. Hate is not necessary. I've
No
I've made a
reason to hate.
choice of
No reason.
exactly.
No reason to
And
hate.
that's what I realized a long time ago when I made the choice to change me. I said, no more excuses, no more blame. It's time to get shit done. And when I started holding myself to that, no more excuses, there was no reasons to hate anyone ever. And then I realized it's simple and obvious. There never really is any reason to hate anyone ever. But
No,
we can. We can.
we can
And
end the hate. Like people, if anybody's listening to this and wrapped up and consumed by hate, stop drinking the haterade. You know, Gatorade, don't drink the haterade. Just let it roll off your back, laugh it off, and try to understand, well, where's this person coming from? Maybe they're hurt. Maybe that's where the hate is coming from. Maybe they're hurting inside, and they don't really hate you. They're just lashing out.
well, what I realized when I started looking in myself, my hate was actually a result of an insecurity. It was the fear of being helpless against a problem I saw, someone who was against me. But see, this information, DNA, one strand, common knowledge today, pretty much of what DNA might be, even though we don't conceptually fully know all the details and such. We got an idea that there's DNA within us that carries our genes and memories of our ancestors and creates into who we are. Today's science, these people, there's different people like us who are dedicating their lives to looking at so many different things. And I trust I've heard this. I don't know about the numbers, but I've heard this concept that one strand DNA can hold up to 23 trillion gigabytes of information, and estimated
Holy
all
shit.
within our
23?
cells.
That much? Wow.
They're finding incredible. Oh, I did hear this recently. In what I remember, there was talk about study of the DNA, and then there was the news that only 10% of our DNA is doing anything. Everything else is just it's junk, whatever. I've heard all sorts of things. Recently, I heard it was the American science focusing on the 10% that produces the physical parts, the proteins and such. Anyway, I heard, again, this is hearsay, I'm not experienced, but I heard that Russian scientists and maybe Chinese scientists have been digging into the remainders of the DNA complex. And there's infinite. This life we are living in, I heard it described perfectly by a scientist. He was promoting faith, God, spirituality.
Mm.
This universe we live in, the cosmos, the stars, the sun, the earth, the planets, the water, the nature, life, it is created for learning and discovery.
Yes. Yes, and experiencing. Sorry, I got a phone call. Could you put me backstage and I'll come back up? I just gotta, it's very important, but I don't
Please
wanna miss this
call.
conversation.
Take your call. I'm actually probably gonna wrap up here in just a minute anyway. But Stephen, this has been kind of enjoyable. I really have appreciated your fun, your energy, your fellowship today. I do think this is about the time. I feel whole. I feel at peace. I feel filled with love, and love brings a wholeness. And when you're whole, you're complete. I feel it might be time for us to move on with the day and keep this relatively brief. And hope, my prayer is you receive the light of love, the light of understanding. I pray that that is shared so that the spirit of comfort may be with you, spirit of inspiration grow from you, and the spirit of comfort that you walk with and through, the spirit of comfort with the knowing God is the truth. You don't have to know the absolute truth in every detail at every moment, but you've got to be honest, and you've got to humble yourself to know that God is the truth within you and beyond you. And God's love, what prevents God's love, what inspires our fear and our faith is ideas. So keep your ideas on love. Keep your ideas on your feelings of walking with the spirit of gladness. Gladness in your heart. Imagine your heart smiling with you, and it raises a smile to your face. It's, the way we're designed is so perfect. Our God is moving us, and I have faith, brothers and sisters. Share my faith. Peace on this world, the time is now. And if you can receive my faith and trust that my commitment is that we will accomplish this somehow, maybe someone will beat us to it, but join me, reach out to me, easily found and reached, and let's see what we can do. All I ask for is some connections and share some support in your way with your ideas. And together, we're going to bring peace to this world for the future. The future starts today, by the way. we start our future today. Join me. Walk with peace and love. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. Thank you again, and God bless us all. Peace be upon us.